everybody, what's up? It's Janna here for another Q&A interview with the Holloway family, with Douglas Holloway and his two sons.
How's it going? How's it going?
Well, we have a lot to cover in a little amount of time. I mean, you guys could talk forever already about things that you have already done, let alone things that you want to do in the future. But just to kind of like jump right in, with both feet. So I just really would love to talk about right off the bat what it has been like for Douglas, and then to hear, DJ, your perspective of being a Black person in entertainment and how that has impacted you, affected you. Just any stories, any advice that you can give when talking about like your experience as a person of color in this business.
If you want to be in the entertainment business, period, forget about being Black or green. You have to really be all in. You really have to be committed to it. And if you are Black, then you have to be 5X all in. Just have to be totally committed. You've got to be all in, and you've got to be willing to sacrifice and do what it will take to be successful.
What I've witnessed is, obviously there's a diversity problem, but it's really, the issue is these companies, these agencies, and these production companies that are bringing in the newest talent that are trying to rise up, they're paying them nothing. And unfortunately, that creates a very narrow opening for people who want to get into the industry. And so, I think that's the problem now in Hollywood, is the reason why you don't see many people of color is because, really it's because people are not getting paid enough to able to afford to live in these expensive cities where the entertainment hubs are. And so that's really what the ism is currently in the industry.
Decide where you want to be in 20 years when you're 43 years old, because that's going to be the pinnacle of your career. Because, a career has an arc to it, right? And you want to get to that pinnacle of the arc as soon as possible. And he said, plan how you plan to get there. And so my arc, pinnacle was in my 40s, early. And so that's what I did. I went back and I decided that, I wanted to be president of a television company. And I wanted to do it in 20 years. And I planned out each and every job I was needed to have in over a 20-year period. And I found out that each job, there were 7 levels after I got out of business school. And each job I could be in no longer than 3 years. And I had to be promoted. And, lo and behold, it worked. More than a mentor is a sponsor.
Yeah.
Like, I was really, really fortunate for 25 years. I had a really good sponsor, a woman by the name of Kay Koplovitz, who started the USA Network, and we worked together for 25 years, and she promoted me, she exposed me, and she was in a position not just to mentor, but to sponsor and make sure that I was moving up in the organization.
Like, how do you cultivate that relationship with someone where it like goes from just being a boss or a person that you admire to then being someone who is actually active in your life and in your career?
They really have to kind of adopt you, and okay. She kind of adopted me. I was, her subordinate. She hired me. I worked for her for those years, and after I kind of proved myself over a first 3 or 4 year period, then we kind of fell into a groove, and then I had a plan. And I would present that plan to her in terms of what I wanted to get in terms of exposure, opportunity, money, assignments. And so we kind of meshed, and she made sure that happened. And she realized that her success, to a degree, could benefit from my success.
Take a job where not just that you want, but that you can, when you're at the interview and you can like tell like, oh, wow, this person could be, good in my career, and a good person and a good kind of mentor. And so, you kind of want to have that hindsight, especially, when you're trying to get into the room. So really read, especially, at the interview, like, is this person a good person? Do you think they'll, invest in your career? Do they have your best interest? And will they appreciate the work that, the backbreaking work that you're going to do for them? So I think, there's obviously a lot of, jerks and whatnot, but there's also a lot of really nice people, and a lot of people want to help you.
My biggest piece of advice would be to reach out to people that are your age as well in the media industry, because those are going to be the people that, are going to empathize with you the most. And they're going to be, very willing to help someone just starting out, because, they were just in that position maybe 2-3 years ago themselves. And just use all the connections that you have. I mean, a lot of people might not have connections in the entertainment industry and media industry, but I mean, go on LinkedIn, check whoever's an alumni from your school. Even if your school doesn't have the biggest alumni network, they might know somebody that knows someone in the media industry. They might have a parent or a family member, family friend. Just kind of put yourself out there and be willing and open to new opportunities and to new connections, because anybody that is willing to help will, and you just got to take advantage of it. So that's another piece of advice I would give. I mean, take on, especially early in your career, take on as many challenges as you can, because not only give you something to point back to when there's a position open, but it's going to give you great experience. And even if you struggle with it, it'll give you great experience from when you have to ask for help. Learn from that as well. My biggest weakness is definitely that I try to kind of do things on my own. I love being in a team and having a team to help, and like calling on people and being a shoulder to lean on as well. But I'm the type of person that, like, if I get something even hard, I'm just gonna be like, all right, like, I gotta kind of buckle down and do this. Even if I know it's gonna take like super long or something like that, I'll kind of try to just like tackle it myself, which can be good at times, but also can be bad, because when you're in a team, you need to know when to call on other people for help, because that's what they're there for. You shouldn't just try to basically tackle a mountain by yourself when you have a whole team and support system to help you. And then I'm also a bit of a perfectionist. So
that's a good biggest weakness answer. I tried too hard. I do everything too well.
I had a bit of OCD when I was younger. So I would write really slowly, because I would try to get all the letters to look good, aesthetically and stuff. But that kind of hurt me on the SATs. But otherwise, it's not been too bad.
I think sometimes I'm an overcommitter, and I don't know how to say no, or I think really just overcommitting. Saying I'll read a script really quickly, to taking on too many projects and really kind of spraying my bandwidth. And I think there's sort of this mysterious thing of just oh yeah, you just work your butt off and just work hard, and that's great. And that's just I think there needs to be a balance. I think I believe in quality, not quantity. And with that, I think, if you want to do the best of your job, you need to kind of have a focus, and really, understand what your limitations are as a human being, because they are real, and the burnout is real. And, working all hours of the night and, just to prove to yourself or someone else that you're effective isn't really the best thing, because you are going to burn out, and you're not going to create the best quality. And that's sort of what I've been trying to do over the past few years, is really kind of focus myself to be not just someone who just takes on all these projects, reads everything, but has kind of a focus and a clearer path of what do I want to work on, and really kind of focus on it.
That's a good answer. I give you the job. All right, Douglas, what about you? What would you say in an interview?
Well, one thing I'll preface by saying, whenever you're asked that in a job interview, you should always talk about how you're fixing it or how you're working on it.
I knew that you would say something smart. I knew it.
It was kind of one of my answers that I used to give when they would ask me when I was, interviewing in my career, is that I am a procrastinator. But my procrastination is really centered on things that really don't mean something, or things that are in my personal life. However, I've worked on it and perfected it or controlled it so that in my professional life, I really don't procrastinate, particularly with respect to things that are important.
Thank you guys so much for talking with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So much. It was so nice meeting you as well.
Yeah, of course. Nice to see you as well.
Bye.
Take care.